Good morning, everybody. How is everybody today? Now, if you were watching last week or saw the posted video subsequently, you all have seen that the journey of the Wingless came to an end. However, the star of that show was Nimue, and her journey isn't finished at all. Just to recap what happened last week, I deliberately took my Wingless, that's Nimue here, and picked up a wing with the intention of seeing if I could do anything about losing that wing. She had not picked up a wing buff. In fact, she has not picked up a wing buff at all. But the simple answer is that there is no easy way that I have determined to return to genuinely wingless status. Once you pick up a wing, that's it. If you go through the shenanigans required to go through Eden, get to orbit, exit orbits without wings, which you can do. The moment you get home, you get sent into the black room. I think it's also known as the dark room, and you are forced to pick up a wing in order to exit. So what I'm going to try and do then is sort of be as wingless as possible. So you can see from her cape that Nimue here has only one wing. That's it. Only one wing. And the goal is essentially to run her like that. Just in case there's ever a circumstance that comes about where it is possible to regain wingless status. I don't know what those, if that will ever be done, or if it is done, what your status has to be to regain wingless status. There is a way, I believe, you can do it for purely cosmetic reasons, but it's not the same as becoming wingless again. It's basically, you still have a cape, but you, basically, I think you still have a cape. But essentially, it's, you are not genuinely wingless. So, my goal for today is to see what we can achieve with only one wing. In some ways, are there any benefits to running with only one wing only? The simple answer appears to be, well, if you do not collect wings and you don't collect wing buffs, you're kind of freed from that, the push to do that. So that's one thing. So she's not going to be picking up any wing buffs at all. At least that's my goal. You do get a slight benefit over running wingless in that you are floatier because of the cape, which means I should be able to do things like get to the temple in the hidden forest more easily. However, she is considerably more fragile. On the other hand, if you do lose a wing, and I'll demonstrate what happens, you don't then have the necessity or urgency or feeling that you have to go around and pick up missing wings. So let's give this a try and see how it works. I think the first thing I'm going to do is head through the hidden forest, which is the most dangerous realm, I think, especially for people without wings. Oh, actually, now that I've said that, I will first of all say thank you to my to my friends and the people who have helped me. And then we'll head into the Hidden Forest and see how that works out. Don't know whether having only one wing makes any of the quests easier. I'm thinking of the quests in the Wind Paths. They do require at least a cape. If we don't try that today, we might try that some other time. The quests in the Sanctuary Islands also require a wing. I don't know whether I can do them with only one. Again, something we can try. But in the meantime, let's see how it all works. Hug the hopeful steward. And yes, I did get the antlers for her. And the reason is, I think, well, it suits her. And it makes her stand out just a little bit. You know, this little, rather adorable avatar with stabby antlers. And I can assure you she was a little miffed when she discovered she couldn't stab people with her antlers. And yes, I do talk about my avatars as though they had distinct personalities. I even once got asked if I suffered from dissociative identity disorder, which as far as I know I don't, and arguably is not a real thing. Arguably. Dissociative identity disorder is also known as multiple personalities disorders. Popularized, of course, in movies and books. As far as I can ascertain, generally inaccurately. Well, the one thing I can tell you straight off is Nimue here doesn't glide like a brick anymore. She at least has a better ability to glide. Which, yeah, could be useful, even if I don't flap. Just being able to glide should give me some benefit. And here we have our first challenge. Unlike a Wingless, which can lose all their light just going through the entrance here, it could be a bit more of a challenge. Oh, there's another moth. That's at least that's at least two wings they've got. I think it's between 2 and 5 they have. Oh no, that's straightforward. And we'll see how much more fragile she is. I'm sure she'll get irritated at that. But she's willing to give it a try. I suppose too, you know, if I accidentally pick up a wing, that's no big deal. But I'm going to attempt not to pick up any wings beyond the absolute minimum that you have to have once you achieve winged status. What time is it? 20 minutes I can do. Yeah, let's see what we can do in here. Should be easier to get into Grandma's, that's for sure. Yeah, I can just flap. Because with only one flap, you do have to be a lot more careful. Don't know if I can get up there. Nope. Yeah, you can see the problem there. Wonder if we can get over to those. Oh, we can. That's good. Does put you in a bit of danger, but not too bad. You actually have a bit more light, I think, than a Wingless. Except that when you run out of it, you are in a much more risky state. So far, I'm pretty much getting what I thought I could. I know there's some light sources here I probably can't get. There's the tree house, for example. But that's a lot easier, even with one flap. Now, normally, I would go up there and head towards the campfire, but I don't think I'm going to be able to easily do that. And the treehouse over there, probably not worth doing that. But I can certainly dodge the crabs. Of course, the crabs are a lot more dangerous now. You know, so far so good. Not running into any huge issues. Did I get all of that? I did. Of course, this is the region where you commonly see moths, new players running into trouble because they're not used to it and they don't realize what happens. When you lose light, they give you the warning, but it doesn't really give you good clues about what happens. Oh, it's certainly a lot easier having just one flap, I will say. This is probably the most dangerous region. Certainly want to be under cover for this bit. And my usual tactic with the Wingless was to go and turn the rain off, and in fact I'm going to do that. Or am I going to try and show you what happens when you do lose all your light? Oh, we might. Yeah, let's give that a bash. And hope nobody comes to try and rescue me. Which happens a lot. So let's find a nice big open spot and see what happens. So now obviously we can't fly. And now We have lost all our light. Please don't come and help. Oh, they're gonna help. Well, thank you. That always happens. It's very difficult to say, I'm sorry, I'm fine, I'm doing this deliberately. And then there's also the little bit of the stigma of losing your light, because then it makes it look like you don't know what you're doing. And of course, I do know precisely what I'm doing. So this little one is being very helpful. Thank you very much. I once, I can't remember whether I streamed it, took a Wingless into Eden, and when you enter Stormlock, the first thing that happens to a Wingless is you die during the cutscene. And once the cutscene was over, there were 2 players frantically trying to keep me alive, which was very kind of them. Alright, let's see. Actually, a couple of things I want to try, which is why I'm near this light here. So now, of course, any players will know that I am in trouble. But what I want is... Okay, so, lost that. Ah, nope, didn't want to do that. So we lose our wing. Stop following me. Is that a feature of one wing? Oh, no, didn't want to do that either. Alright, let's try this again. This is supposedly one of the techniques to sort of become... Well, I think it used to make you capeless, but we'll see. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, there's my wing, safely over there. And what happens next? Alright. Okay, so that's what happens. It dissolves, you lose it. You only have the amount of time. So now I'm in the black room. And this is the same thing that happened when I exited orbit without wings, went to home, and it took me straight here. And as far as I know, there is no way out. If I were to, I can't go home. If I were to try and force exit the game, I'd just end back here. So that gives us some idea of our limitations then. The big advantage, of course, is that because I only had one wing to start with, I've under no pressure at all to go and find the ones I've missed. So you don't have that panic. You've got one wing, you lose it, you're forced to pick up another one, no big deal. And we'll just go back and return. So that's the situation we find ourselves in. So what we'll do is we'll go and turn off the light and proceed in a more or less normal fashion, and then get some feel for how easy it is to get up to the temple, which should not be a problem, because I've got that extra floaty quality that having a cape gives you. I might head to Grandma's. If I can get this lit. Might as well head to Grandma's. Yeah, I got loads of time. So if there's light there, then there's going to be light around the corner here. Which means there should be a patch. Can't remember whether it was on the branch or at the base of one of the trees. Yeah, a lot easier to transition to gliding flight as well, so which is useful. Yeah, it's on the branch. If there's light on the branch, there's no light at the base of one of these trees, and there's no light up there. So all of this is quite doable, with only one flap level. As long as you basically keep in mind where you're headed. The one area it's kind of difficult to get up to from here is actually up there, but there's another way up. Which I will do in a moment, and that should be a lot easier. Oh, in case anybody wondering where the title of this live stream comes from, it comes from The Hunt for Red October. If anybody remembers that movie, I don't know why that particular quote sticks in my head. It's the bit where Scott Glenn and Sean Connery's characters are talking to each other via their submarines, and Scott Glenn asks for one ping only, to reply to a message. So that's where this comes from. Yeah, Sean Connery, of course, doing a terrible, terrible Russian accent. Yeah, that's a lot easier. Couldn't have flown up from down there, but definitely can get up here, the other way. So loads of time, and then we'll come back out this way and go up to the temple, just to see how straightforward that is. Shouldn't be a problem, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure if I entered the underground caverns this way through the cave over there. Don't think I can get out of the bottom level, but that's also worth a try. Certainly can't do it when you're wingless. And there should be a patch of light right here. And we have loads of time. More than enough time for me to get quite bored and consider doing something else. In fact, I think I will. I don't feel like waiting 9 minutes for Grandma's to start. Every so often I like to raise this bridge, because nobody does it. Or at least not very often. Will be a minor challenge, it has to be said. Entering the boneyard this way. It's a good job there isn't a spirit gate there coming in this direction. That would have been problematic. So of course the minor problem here is that I need to find a light source that's nearby. And there's one right there. Should be. And I should have enough light. Get myself recharged. So that was straightforward. Of course, because I exited and came back, raising the bridge and everything else has been removed, but that doesn't matter too much. In fact, this has been quite straightforward. No particular problems. I suppose the moral of this story... Moral? No, it's not really the moral. The message of this is that if you have only one wing, you can get through the hidden forest, no problems at all. You just have to be slightly careful, which means you have to know what you're doing. Which doesn't negate the difficulty, of course, if you're a moth and you're coming into the hidden forest for the first time. So, I do now have to wait for the jellyfish. So what we're going to do is try and get across without a flap. Should be able to. Yeah, you definitely float better. Are we high enough? I think so. Yep. Of course, if I could flap, I'm not allowing myself to flap for this experiment, but if I could, that would be even easier. Yeah. I've never been able to do this as a wingless, and the reason is because we don't have that extra floaty quality. Would be kinda nice if you could have just a cape. You could be wingless, but with a cape, just to get that little bit of extra glide. Yeah, this is going well. Don't know why I'm waiting. Yeah, there we go. You don't need to flap. Well, if you got a cape, you don't need to flap. And here should be moderately straightforward. Trying to remember how. Oh yes. If you get down here, and you don't need to actually flap up to that, you can just raise these platforms here. Of course, that's assuming it cooperates. Which it doesn't appear it's going to. I have no idea whether this failure to cooperate represents a bug or a feature. But it's definitely irritating. Don't know if I can get up there with only one flap. We'll give it a try. Going to guess and say probably not. No. No. Not without a recharge, and there doesn't appear to be one around here. So we're going to have to do it the interesting way. Oh, you're kidding me. It lowered the platform again. And if you've just joined us, and you're familiar with this particular avatar, you may well know that, just as a quick summary, last week she lost her wingless status. So the journey of the wingless was over, but Nimue's journey is not. So I'm running her with just one wing. Because I don't feel like doing the whole get wings thing. And I'm curious. It's certainly a lot easier. Even without flapping, just having the cape makes some things a lot easier. Jumping the jellyfish, for example. You don't need to fly, you can just jump from jellyfish to jellyfish, which you can't do as wingless, as I stated previously. No, I can't get all the light in the hidden forest, but I can get most of it. And I can get into Grand Mars, which I'm not going to bother doing because I got bored. I didn't want to wait for 10 minutes. But I will pick up this. The funny thing is, Nimue here actually has all the map shrines from Eden and Stormlock. And Orbit. Let's see if I can show you. Yes. So she's got all of those. And Orbit. So if nothing else, that must be a fairly distinctive accomplishment. So, yeah, that's straightforward. No particular problems there. The interesting one after this, of course, is the Golden Wasteland. That I should probably do next, but I like this little flight. It's kind of nice. Just realized I could probably get her without... How many hearts have I got? Ah, 6. Need a few more. There's a few capes I can get without having to get whatchamacallit, wing buffs. Let's I'll come back to this later. I think the yellow cape is 3 hearts, and I think the red one... Let's see. Let's see what we can get. Don't remember where all the capes are. The other thing, of course, is I feel under no obligation whatsoever to get any extra cosmetics. I wouldn't mind getting that hair, but I like the one she's got now anyway, so that's alright. My biggest shame is I can't get her skirt. That's beyond the wing buff, and if you're going to be wing buffless, then it's unavailable. So I'm going to have to wait for a suitable spirit. I could have sworn... Anybody remember where the... I don't think I've actually unlocked all the spirits. I have not. Yeah, that would make sense for this. So yeah, that one's available to me, but I need more. I need more hearts, which, to be fair, I can get. I've got a bunch of hearts that I can pick up from various places. That's a heart, for example. Could have sworn... Oh yeah, I need to get... there's only one I've got there, so... Yeah, there are still regular spirits I haven't got. There's one I'm missing from that, which is slightly surprising to me. I thought I had all those. Ah. May as well get the yellow cape. Oh, there we go. That's kind of nice. Right, Golden Wasteland. Let us see... Oops, I don't want to go sliding into the wrong place. Let's see what the Golden Wasteland is going to be like. This should be interesting. She's done all the Abyss quests, by the way, in Treasure Reef. Those aren't a problem for Wingless. The interesting thing is going to be the polluted water down here. And with capeless, you just... Wingless, I should say, slash capeless, you just jump a lot. Not quite sure how that's going to work. Hang on a second. So I got someone talking to me on Messenger. Hang on a second. Hang on a moment. Sorry, just updating a friend of mine on Facebook Messenger. And hopefully they'll join us. Which would be nice. Right. What am I doing? Oh, yes. Now, with a wingless, this is actually no particular problem. With one cape and a wing level, let's see how this works. Yeah, that's no big deal. I think this is not going to be a problem. I can just run it as I normally would, and I think as long as I don't lose my light, I'm fine. Hello, Thivia. Welcome to Nimue's journey. I'm seeing how everything works when you only have one flappy level. And yes, I started early. I got bored. So, with a bit of luck, that means I might stream for as long as 3 hours. Or until everybody gets really, really tired of it. Well, this has been straightforward so far. I mean, I've obviously lost my flap, so I now reduced to bunny hopping, but that's no big deal. Yeah, as long as you keep moving and don't hang around in the polluted water, you're fine. And don't get hit by a crab. Yeah, the one downside is it doesn't take much. If I just go through that water, I've lost my flap. Pretty much. But I think, let's see if I got this right. Oh. Let's use up my flap, and if I... Yeah, this works like a wingless. Basically, you recharge your light a little bit with every bounce, so that's not a problem. Yeah, and then you just go back to, I have a cape but no wing level, which is fine. That's good to know. I'm going too far out my way, so let's go and play with the krill, which I know is Thivia's favourite part. Yeah, it is interesting. It has to be said, running like this. Yeah, you don't care if you lose a wing, because it's only one wing. That's not a huge deal. If you lose one wing, well, okay. You just go to the dark room, pick up another one, and return home, and then you can return to where you left off. You don't have to worry about recharge. That's another thing, how sometimes here, you need the recharge. Well, if you're still basically got the mentality that you're running a wingless, don't worry about the recharge. I don't think the hug puppy's coming for me, so we will just... Oh, look at that. And of course, you do have that extra floaty that you can do, so that's not a problem. So far, so good. So if you're a moth with one wing, you don't really have any problems. I wonder how many... Yeah, they've got a lot more. Yes, I wonder if they're wondering what the heck I'm doing. It's an interesting psychology, I find, at least for me, in running a character, running an avatar in the regular fashion. That is, you get all the wings, you get all the wing buffs, and you rush. You want to get the latest and greatest outfits. It's interesting being like this, and all that is gone. I find you don't care. And now, granted, yes, I have cheated a little bit in that she does have the antlers. But, you know, you like to make your character stand out a little bit. And as I think Thivia might confirm, if anybody's watching the chat, Nimue does have a bit of a character. And the antlers don't help. Definitely a bit more of the wish I could stab people tendency. Oh, no. You go ahead and you fly. Oh no, I'm good. The keyboard sorts itself out. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, no problem. The wingless recklessness. Oh, they're being nice and polite. The wingless recklessness is still present. And because there is a tendency when you're wings, you can get away with stuff that you probably wouldn't necessarily think about doing with wings, because you don't really want to lose your wings, but it's nice having that sort of freedom. They're probably thinking I'm slightly bonkers, along with, how on earth did you manage to get this far? Oh, don't tell me somebody took away the... Okay. No rush, Thivia. Everything's fine. I mean, when you bear in mind that a krill strike can cost you, what, 5 wings? 4 or 5? You don't really want to lose those. But if you can only lose 1, well, that's not a huge problem. I wonder if I should let her be hit by a krill strike just to see what happens. I mean, I know what happens. Ooh, almost got to hug a krill there. Ah, there we go. This might... Can I just hide in the corner? I can. Missed me. Okay, this is unexpected fun. I mean, this is just as much fun as running a wingless. It has, except I've got that little extra bit of floaty. That okay, this is actually fun. Yeah. Maybe I can start a new trend, running with only one wing. And just take advantage of the floaty. So, where is the candle cake here? Is there a candle cake here today? Doesn't seem to be. I'm actually more worried about being hit by... Oh! Yes, this player suddenly charging up behind... Oh, it's our friend from previously. Huh. How come that didn't bother me? Oh, hit them, not me. I don't have the kiss... Oh, yes, I do. No, I don't. I thought I had the... There's so many of the emotes that I haven't got. What have I got? Not important, really. I've still got so many of the regular spirits to get. I've got the, more or less, I think, the absolute minimum required. Oops. Don't get stuck. I can get up onto the roof there, at the top of the boat. And I know from past experience you don't need wings to get up here. Just jump a lot. And yes, you know, I've got the one flap, which makes life a lot easier. Oh, interesting thing, of course, is it's a lot easier to get your one flap back. You know how when you've got, you know, 120 wings or something, or 150, and, you know, you want to recharge and you want to get all of your wings back. Well, when you can't, that's somewhat liberating. So, Golden Wasteland, not a big problem. Don't need to stop for a recharge because don't need it. And I can get up there without wings. So we'll just do that. Of course, the ultimate tester's doing would be doing the playful parent. I'm not about to do the playful parent with only one wing, but I suppose I might try at some point. That one is a nightmare. And you can glide surprisingly well with only one flap. Parkour our way to the top. Is there a patch? There is a patch down there. How about that? All worked out fairly well. Should be a patch of light right over there, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not tempted to try the darkness tree. I think I've never seen that done with less than 3 players. And well, okay, let's see if I can't do something here. Let's see if I can just... Yeah, I can't... Can I flap? Alright, now you go and get the rest of the... Go on. Go and get the rest of the... Go and get the rest of the plant. I'm going to stand here. You go do that. You've got far more flappies than I do. You're far more suited to... Alright. Gonna be difficult. Well, that was straightforward. On a good day, I don't have... yeah, on a good day with a bit of practice, you can actually do tolerably well with just jumping. Because you can overextend yourself by flapping. Yeah, you flap too hard, you missed your target. Whereas if you can only jump, or you've only got one flap, that actually makes for a little bit more precision, in my opinion. So yeah, this is proving to be very gratifying so far. I like it. I mean, for anybody who wants a distinctive look, only having one wing certainly qualifies. And let's face it, one of the cool things about running with a wingless is the fact that there's very few of you. Okay, so Golden Wasteland is not a problem. Thinking about it, no reason why it would be. So, let me see now. That, ooh, yes, now, this, there's going to be areas in here that will be more difficult for me. I know that. We know this is not a problem. That's not a problem. This isn't a problem. That wouldn't be a problem. And this wouldn't be a problem either. Well, actually, let's give this a wee bit of a try. There's a couple of areas here it's worth taking a look at. To see what your limitations are. I'm thinking, and I happen to know the answer, but I'm going to pretend like I don't. I'm going to demonstrate it. Yeah, one of the potential issues. Let's be reasonable about this. You can get through most. Well, you can get through the entirety of the Daylight Prairie with a wingless. So, with a winged, there's one area I know I won't be able to get, and that is the light on the temple roof. I won't be able to get that. The other area that's potentially problematic, but we'll see, is getting the light in here in the nest. And we'll see how that works out. So essentially I'm doing an inadvertent candle run. Wasn't quite my intent today. I was sort of... The goal was to see, okay, can we do this or that with only one wing? To which the... Oops, forgot this one. To which the answer appears to be, yes, you can. At some point I ought to go and unlock the rest of the regular spirits. Although, seeing as I can get everywhere, not a huge amount of reason for me to do so. Yeah, I won't make that, but that's what we have the clouds for. That was almost graceful. I'm pretty certain I can get all the light in here. I know there's not a huge amount of light in these caverns, but... What? You can do surprisingly well. Huh. Oh, right, Valley of Triumph. Yeah, I think I can do all those. Anybody know when the next major traveling spirit event is? I believe the next traveling spirit thing is multiple spirits are coming, and I think it's in January. Well, this month. It's funny to think this is January 2025. Yeah, that's actually... I wonder, can I get that spirit? Because that one definitely requires a certain degree of flappy. So I imagine that's how her journey is going to proceed. catching the various spirits, seeing if there's any of those that she can't do or might need help with. There is at least one I'm moderately certain she definitely can't do, and that is in the Sanctuary Islands, and I can't remember which one it is. In fact, I'm pretty certain she can't do the most. I don't think she'll be able to do all the quests in Sanctuary Islands either. Because they definitely require more than one wing level. So all this is fairly normal. With a bonus level of floaty. Now I happen to know that you can in fact fly from the temple up there over to the entrance to the nest over there, and you can do it with only one flap, but I don't know how reliably I can do that, so we'll give it a try and see. It doesn't really matter because I know I can still get to is this the same? Is that the same player who was in the Golden Wasteland with me? Well, that's definitely easier than having to scramble up. If you've watched me before, you'll know you don't need wings to get all the light here. Yeah, the improved glide is handy. Oh, and being able to catch, well, yeah, I'd say thermals, but okay, we'll call them thermals. Yeah, which you can't really do without a cape. Now, of course, a lot of this, if you had already done your wing run and you were coming around here for entertainment purposes, that might make things a little harder in some areas. Because right now, I'm managing to, particularly in the Hidden Forest, the thing that's really helped was the fact that I kept going from light source to light source, and that made life a lot easier than it would otherwise have been. Oh, that's convenient. Oh, I've got the butterfly capture thingy, haven't I? I have had the opportunity to observe, despite Nimue being on the definitely the short side for an avatar, she is actually still significantly taller than a chibi, which is fine. I'm quite happy with that. And I don't think I've got any height spells. I do not. So I'm not going to be tempted to see if I can get her any shorter. So don't even think of it, Thivia. And as I have said during these streams before, doing a honk in here does absolutely no good. It doesn't help you change the server, it doesn't get other people in. All you can do is wait until enough people arrive and servers merge, and yeah. Was there a yes, they are reindeer ears. Makes her look like a, well, I was going to say a fawn, but the fawns had cloven feet and shaggy hind parts. So like, I think they had goat's legs, the upper body of a human, and I think they did have horns, but not antlers. Except I think they were all male. So, yeah, she's not a fawn. More like a fantasy elf. Except that, yeah. Trying to think, the only other being that she might remind me of off the top of my head is Hern the Hunter. But he's obviously male. But I can't remember his story. I think he's out of Celtic or British, English folklore. He's a ghost, I remember, and he does have antlers. So maybe I should rename her a female version. No, she's Nimue. I'm not changing her name to Hern. Yeah, so the light I can't get on the top of the temple. I say I can't get. I'm almost certain I can't. It requires too many flaps to get up there, and I don't have them. Unless there's some hidden way up of which I was previously unaware. Can you get up there from the outside of the temple? That's an interesting possibility. Or can you get it from the entrance there? Huh. So says he, umming and ahhing to himself. I haven't tried it. I don't think you can get up the outside of the temple. I think the winds block you. Yeah, there's certainly no way I'm going to do it from here. I think if I go up there, I don't think I can go back. I will give one try at going up the outside, but I don't think that'll be successful. Yeah, I'm pretty certain I can't get up to the top through here, but we'll try it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, wind's not going to let me, and I am not inclined to go bonkers trying. So the question is, and I know it's possible because I've done it, is can I get to the entrance to the nest from here with one flap? And I think you can. I know I've done it before. Should be able to. But that wasn't a very good jump off, so doesn't matter, you can still get there. I mean, a wingless can get there. They just bounce up in the clouds a bit. So what I'm probably going to do next after I've done this is go back to the wind paths and see if I can do the pick up the boat pieces quest. You can kind of get close if you don't have any wings with that, without actually doing it. So here's the thing I'm wondering about here. How much of this can I access with only one flap? I mean, if you stay in the clouds, it's not a problem, obviously. You just recharge. Yeah, someday I'm going to have to come back and do a spirit run. You know, I might mentally schedule that in for next week. Yeah, so here's a bit of a question. Can I get over there? Well, let's see. I think the answer is yes. Yep, no problem at all. Now, one thing I am not going to get overly worked up about, I can get to the top of those. You have to parkour your way up, and I really almost can't be bothered. You just go up the sides. Yeah. No, I've done it. I'm not going to try. I don't care enough at this point. Probably can get over there, though. Yep. So I could probably get all the light in here. Of course, this kind of thing's a lot easier with the cape. That lets you float up. Don't know how high I can get with this. Don't think I can... No, you can. I can get that. That's good to know. Right, next challenge. How much of the Sanctuary Islands can I collect? Yeah, because one of the things about being wingless in the Sanctuary Islands is I'm going to need a flap, is you really can't get right ahead of me there. But I should be able to with a cape and a flap. Yeah, with a wingless, you basically plummeted into the water by now. Okay, that's a little troublesome. Unless maybe I can. Oh no, I won't get the mantas because she has not. If you get the timing just right, you get this swarm of mantas that comes along and can carry you along or recharge you. But because I haven't done the quests here, I haven't got that. So that's something else to consider. But, you know, if I wanted to, I could probably get over there. Trying to come up with tactics for doing some of the quests here. Well, that was straightforward. I'm not doing the turtle. Obviously, I could do the turtle. You can do a turtle wingless, but it's no huge deal. It's a minor challenge at this point. Yeah, I just need to get up there, and I'm pretty certain I can do that with a flap. Bingo. Look at that. No problem. Yeah, so far, apart from the predominantly doing the bouncy run, this is all straightforward. No particular issues, which is good. Potentially a bit of an issue here, but I have actually found that, you know... Oh, I should have recharged that. No problems at all. If you just keep moving, you don't normally get hit by the crabs. Or at least I don't. Your mileage may vary. Yeah, now the one spirit I'm pretty certain would cause me a lot of trouble is the one over here. Yeah, that one. That one is difficult if you do have wings. I think I've done it. Probably have. The very first time I did that particular spirit, which you can't... Well, yes, you can see. I'm pointing as if to say, yeah, it's right there. Yeah, you can see it. That spirit is, the very first time I did that, I actually went on to the official Facebook forum and said, help, I'm over here, can somebody help? And somebody in the forums saw my plea and came along and helped me, which was very nice of them. I also got into a tiny bit of trouble because I should have posted the help requests in a different thread, but... you know, how often do people look in the help thread? I needed somebody immediately. It was only a tiny bit of trouble. Right, so that's definitely worthwhile doing. Let me see. Trying to think, how many hearts can I pick up? I can pick up 10 hearts. Do I want to go for a red cape? No, I think I'll stick with the yellow cape. It suits her antlers. Right, let us go and see how much more of the wind paths I can do. Which way do I want to go? I'm not sure I can get into the wind pass that way, but I should be able to this way. Alright, have a good afternoon / evening, Thivia. I'll see you soon. Oh, I haven't been in here since Winterfell, so I haven't seen this. Well, I haven't seen it in winter. Yeah, this is the quest I started, oh grief, a few weeks ago and never could get finished. So, what I am going to do, given that I have been streaming for nearly an hour and a half, is I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I wish that I had a way of leaving a message on the screen. Right. Back shortly. And I'm back. I really ought to come up with a message timer, something like that I can pop on the screen that will say something appropriate. I'll try playing music, but while you don't exactly get copyright strikes, even if it's copyright-free music, YouTube, I won't say isn't happy with it, that's not quite the right expression. It, yeah, says something like, if this is ever monetized, the copyright might be an issue, even though it's copyright-free. So... oh, this is straightforward enough so far. Easier than being wingless. Capeless. Alright, let's see how this works out for me. I think that's the meditation circle I want. And now we have to get slightly inventive. Alright. Did somebody already pick one up? Right, there's one that's nearly accessible if you have, if you're capeless. I think that's... so, the trick here is... yeah, that's straightforward. Let's see if we can... just glide over here. Probably should have tried the one above me first. Huh. So far so good. And I got a suspicion I can get to the others. I just need 2. Ooh, am I going to be able to scamper? Yeah, that's a little trick for you, by the way. Yeah, you can use the birds to recharge, and you can, in principle, follow them pretty much entirely around. Which I may well have to do. Probably should have tried to go for the jellyfish, but that worked. So, there's one up there which I should be able to get to via... yeah, should be... oops, I did not want to do that. You do get a slow recharge here, so that's helpful. Yeah, that probably wasn't the best tactic in the world. So what I'm trying to do here is kind of hover so that I don't lose my height. That's not going to work. If I could just hop onto that jellyfish, I would be... Yep, misjudged that one badly. Oh, so close. There we go. Okay, that is proving recalcitrant. So what we'll do is we'll head for birds. Get up there, I think. If I can just get into the bird stream, that would be profoundly useful. Yeah, looks like I ought to be able to get to the light bloom there. If I can do that... Ah, so close. I think I'm being too impatient. There we go. Almost a done deal. So now I've got just the 2 left. Okay, that's doable. I can just get onto the grass. There we go. I am now somewhat convinced that there is a place in the game, if we could somehow manage it, for Wingless but with a cape, just to get that little bit of extra flappy. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that so easily. Almost. How about that? Okay. That should help. And from here, I should just be able to go up the blooms, if they will just cooperate a little bit. And that should be the last one. Okay. So... Yeah, I don't know if I could have done that without flap. Just gliding. If possibly. I have, incidentally, in the official suggestions thread on the official Facebook forum for that game company, requested a way for a previous wingless who has not picked up a wing buff to return to a wingless status, wingless slash capeless status. I doubt they will. Every so often I've requested that PC users have a walk-run mechanic, and they've never gotten any feedback for that, even though it's an obvious thing for them to do. Because your choices here with the keyboard are, you can run, and that's it. You can't walk. And there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't have a walk-run mechanic. Plenty of ways that could be implemented realistically. I mean, they could do, default walk, then hold something like, say, shift down to do run, or do a double tap on, say, the W key to go into permanent run until you stop. There's lots of ways of doing it. Minecraft has a perfectly good system. They could just borrow that. It's one of those things I doubt very much as being copyrighted, trademarked. Alright, let's see what else we can try. What's the next one? Oh, that's the capture the birds thing. Yeah, this one... This one is... I think this is the one where you can't do it wingless. You need someone else to help. I think. So this means I may well end up picking up a second wing. And it's practically unavoidable, assuming I can actually get any of the missing wind chimes. I'll give it a try. Because one of the wind chimes is perilously close, if not inside one of the tunnels underneath, and when you go through that tunnel there's an auto pickup. So if you're wingless, you don't want to do that. I'm not even sure that I can do this as is. Yeah, it's down there. I think I can see it. Yeah, this one. I'm pretty certain if I go in there... Yep. And I didn't even get the wind chime, did I? And I can't go back out. So this will end up... Yep, I got a second wing. You see, that's the problem. Oh, but I did... Yeah, so... That is the problem. with doing this, if I had been wingless at that point, I would have picked up that wing. So you definitely need help with this one. And of course I just ruined my run because I wanted to do this with just one wing level, and now I've got two, and I'm gonna have to come up with some way to lose one of those wings. Which is quite doable. Did somebody just pick that up for me? I think the rest of them are quite doable actually, but that was, yeah, I suppose inevitable. I have taken a wingless to get these missions, and I had somebody else basically pick up the wind chimes. So what I will do once I've done this is see about going back to a single wing level, just for the sake of it, and because that's the whole purpose. I feel like I cheated myself a little bit there. So what I'll do is, when I finish this, is I will go back to... where will I go back to? Hidden Forest. See if I can deliberately lose one wing there. Actually, yes, of course I can. I can lose all of them, it's not a problem. And then I will just pick up the one, because that's all I need. Well, I'd rather have none, to be honest, but... yeah, this is pretty much just a case of go through the usual motions. It's actually not that much different from if you've got 100 wing levels. Because you recharge from the cloud anyway, so, or from the region. Yeah, these two should be straightforward as long as I get lined up properly. Where's the other ones gone? thought there was one closer by. Oh, there's one over there. There is. The silly thing is, the very first time I did this, which was, oh grief, must have been February of last year. I've been playing this game for nearly a year. I'm pretty certain I didn't go through the tunnel to get the auto pickup. Did I get it? I think I did. Am I even going the right way? I guess I'm not. Bingo! Right, so I'll go back, lose my wing levels, and get back to where I want to be. I think the next one is... what's the next one on this? I think it's releasing the manta or something. Or releasing the birds. Oh yeah, I've still got a few to go, so I can't. Yeah, can't remember what they are. Hang on, how many? 1, 2, 3. Still thinking about whether or not to get the red cloak. I don't think I will. We're going to go home, lose our wings, pick up one, and see where that takes us. Easiest place to lose wings is going to be... yeah, Hidden Forest. Might actually even be in the treehouse. With a bit of luck, I won't have too many people trying to rush to save me. And I'm sorry, I don't on this occasion want people to come in and rush to save me. Can't remember if it's due to be raining in here. I know there's a schedule for the rain, but I don't know whether it depends on whether you've completed the treehouse quests, which I have not. And okay, it's raining. Good. See if I can make myself inaccessible, just in case someone wants to help me. Oh! Didn't want to. Yep, someone's coming to help. I don't want help. Please don't help me. Don't help. I really don't need the help. I know what I'm doing. Oh! Let's see what happens now. This should be interesting. I have 1 wing level, which is exactly what I wanted to be back at. So, okay, I think basically even with a cape and a flap, you can do the wind paths. Not sure whether we can do Aurora. Might be worth a try at some point. And then, of course, there's always the Sanctuary Islands, and a lot to do, really. What am I missing? The Valley of Triumph, I'm missing a couple. Oh, yes, I'm missing several. Those could be challenging. Got all those. I'm missing one from here, and I don't remember which one that is. Let's see what we can manage in the Vault of Knowledge. See how much easier this is now, because there's several spirits here I haven't got, so I might as well grab those. If I can. Now, where are the spirits that I haven't got? I've got one here, I'm pretty certain, so I need... I don't think I've got the one here, have I? Do I want to try getting spirits, or do I want to see how far up the... Yeah, let's try this. Yeah, I know. That's the downside to playing solo. That's interesting. I have not seen that before. The sort of light bar at the bottom there. See where it's filling up? I don't think I've seen that before. How come I've not seen that before? Yeah, so I either need someone to help or a glitch. Okay, that's... Huh, interesting. Typically, if you're playing solo and you simply run backwards and forwards a lot, sooner or later you'll get the door open. That one seems to be on. And this one is going to be difficult. Ah! Okay, so either I glitched it or it is possible to do it solo. Yeah, and that's one of the spirits I haven't done, obviously. Should be able to get up there. Oh, this could be... Oh, no. No. I think I can do this. Yeah. Yes, I can. Pretty certain. But apparently it's not going to be easy. Doable though. I've just got to somehow get up there. This could be a wee bit of a challenge. Because now I'm completely out of flap, and I've got no way up there. Unless... Nope, that's not going to work. I don't think I can just fly straight up. No, I can't. Well, I can get quite high. But now I am a wee bit stuck. I can't light myself up. And I don't have anything that can help me here. No. Yeah, this is almost enough to make one think that it's not doable. That is pretty much... Unless, let me just see. It is very difficult, obviously, to get... I mean, that's easy enough. Okay. How do I get up there? Unless I can target one of those. The problem is to get to any one of these, and I don't seem to be able to jump up to that. So... can I get to that? Almost. Okay, alright. You can get 2 jumps out of that. That might help. Yes, you can. That's a 2 flappy you can get. So, what we'll try and do is get to one of those orbiting platforms, see whether we can. Heh, how about that? Yes, you can. Now I'm stuck. Definitely stuck. Unless I can get very lucky. What do we reckon? Can I get in through that hole? I didn't think so. And I'm not going to be able to do that, so I'm back down to this. Oh, this might do it, actually. Ooh, close. Close but no cigar. So I can get the flight exactly right. Might be able to get in there. Let's try and see how high I can get. That seems to be about my limit. But no, Alright, that I can do. That is slightly too high for me to catch the edge, I think. There's no lost lights in here. Yeah. Whoa, I can get surprisingly high. Alright. I suspect that's possible. I'm simply not going to get it done today. Not with only one wing level. 2 wing levels, yes. That's doable. But not with just the one. Okay. Let's see what else might be achievable. At least a little more easily. Excuse me while I hum and to myself. I wonder if there's any point in going and activating the Little Prince missions. Actually, that might be worth starting. Get it underway at least. Let's see. I've done those. Haven't done those. Haven't done those. Done those. For what that's worth. Don't like the Little Prince missions. Just me. Excuse me, coffee burp. Not something you want to hear on the recording. How long have I been going? 2 hours according to that. Oh, right. Alright, let's, oh, yes. I know where he... I know where he is. Don't actually. Huh. Oh, here we go. Funny thing about that is if you show up wingless, the Little Prince says, "I like your cape." I know the Little Prince is a classic story, but I find myself feeling that he is a very selfish young man. Abandoned his best friend. Yeah, come on. What do you mean can't catch you? I was ahead of you most of the time. Yeah, the thing I think I found, the other thing I really didn't like about this was the sort of failure to understand and triviality of the Little Prince himself. Did not care for that at all. Oh, I'll grab this. I mean, don't forget, I'm nearly 59, so yeah, I'm sure the Little Prince is not really intended for people my age, but I found it, yeah. Maybe I'll analyze it as I go along. Maybe I'll look up and see what other people have said about it. I mean, to be honest, first time through it wasn't so bad, but then you start realizing just how daft some of it really was. I mean, this part, okay, you know, was fine. I don't remember where the prince goes. s- I recall, he should be... There he is. I'm trying to remember what the message of the Little Prince was supposed to be. I'm not sure I got a message from it. Being a nearly 59-year-old cynic probably renders me unsuited to properly interpret it. I mean, what I had to say about the Moomin season probably wouldn't have gone down well with the people who came out with it in the first place. I mean, if there's an underlying message in this, it's sort of anti-grown-up, as though there's something wrong with being grown-up, or something incomprehensible, or it's better to be a child. I think I found it grossly oversimplified and lacking in understanding. I'm not saying that that game company necessarily, but the story itself, yeah, not really intended for an adult, for adults. And of course, the side part of this is the Lamentations of the Rose. I suppose that could be a side message. Don't overlook the friends you've already got. I mean, I could be misremembering it, but yeah, the side message does seem to have been, all this time he had a friend, yeah, and he abandoned it. So... if anybody watches this later, feel free to give me your thoughts on the little print in the comments. See? He already had a friend. So you could argue that the little prince very thoughtlessly just abandoned his friend to go adventuring. I can't remember if he ever returned. Eh. I've no doubt I'll find out sooner or later. What was the next bit? Okay, yes, Hidden Forest. I'm not sure I can do this one without help. Not with even with one flappy level, because I think I need to go up from where you see him now, and I don't think I can do it with only one wing level. But I'm not going to try now. Or at least I got it started. I'm going to go back home and let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really need to do for this stream. Save it up for next time, maybe. I mean, what have we determined? We determined that you can do surprisingly well in the Hidden Forest. with only one wing. Uh, Daylight Prairie isn't a huge issue. Obviously the Isle of Dawn isn't a problem. The Golden Wasteland, again, not a particular problem. I'll tell you what, I'll go to Grandma's, get Grandma's, and I think I will bring this to an end for today. Doesn't help that I'm actually getting hungry. I might well chop this up into smaller bits and publish them separately. The complete live stream will still be on my channel, of course, in the appropriate playlist. If anybody else is doing anything like I'm attempting here, basically doing YouTube live streams, you definitely get more attention if you what's the expression? Yeah, if you publish 2 or 3 videos a day. So you do a live stream, cut it up into bits, and then publish those 2 or 3 a day. Definitely gets you more attention. Not all live streams, though, necessarily lend themselves to being easily chopped up. This one I could definitely do. But the Pathless, which I've also been doing, that's much harder because so much of it has been just exploration. But I'd need to take a look. No Man's Sky doesn't really lend itself to being chopped up. Not the way I've been playing it. The Long Dark, I could conceivably chop it up into days. When I first started, I did. And then I kind of started doing it more freeform. Because I kept dying, so having a Long Dark series. Oops. Forgot what I was doing. Yeah, because I kept dying, I kind of, it just doesn't lend itself so well to doing a day-by-day series, because it's, you know, day 1, and then day 1 again. So it's actually easier to keep that and just keep everything going, so that if you do die during a live stream, you simply restart during the live stream and keep going. Alright, and I've got 5 minutes or so. Well, I've got 10 minutes to wait. So, I'll be back in 10 minutes. Unless I can think of anything else to talk about. The problem is there's not much to do while we're waiting, so... anybody watching? Well, nobody's watching. So if anybody comes along, yeah, keep watching this. I'll be back in a bit. And I probably will chop this out. Yeah, see how it goes. Alright. Back in a bit. And as you can see, I'm back. Had a quick look at the weather while I was at it. We've had snow and ice warnings for the last couple of days, and we're finally getting snow in here. I'm in the north of England, which is about as close as I'm going to admit to being. And it's snowing at the moment. We had must be 2-3 inches out there, which is respectable. I wish that game company had not removed the shared spaces here. Used to be able to go up there, activate a shared space, and it would auto break the I don't know what they're called. Food balls? And they removed it, presumably to encourage interaction at Grandma's, and all it really does, I think, is irritate everybody. In case you're wondering, that's the Nokia ringtone. Except the original music is Spanish and doesn't have that last note in it. Yeah. It actually makes more sense with that last note, but the original piece doesn't have it. I wonder if his family get royalties from it, or is it out of copyright? Probably out of copyright. The other irritating thing about Grandma's is that last food delivery, you don't get any light from it. I mean, you do, but it doesn't count. It doesn't add up. And I don't know why. I don't know if that's a bug or a design feature. Doesn't make any sense that it's a design feature, but I am not in that game company's mind space. Do you know what? I hadn't really noticed. We have shadows, but the shadows are not correct. I mean, this close to a light source, my shadow should not be going in the direction that it is. Do we get a shadow on the wall? No. Or is it the shadow from our own glow? No, that wouldn't be it. If that was a shadow from your own glow, it would be the shadow would be a pool at your feet, not stretched out like that, which means the light source is over there. Unless it's her antlers. No, even so. Shouldn't be getting a shadow at that direction. So, to whoever's watching right now, my basic plan, as I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. So my current plan is to basically finish off at Grandma's and then bring the stream to an end, unless you have a suggestion as to something else I should do. Otherwise, I will continue Nimue's journey next Sunday. And again, if you're not familiar, Nimue is this little thing with the flower in her hair and the antlers. And I did check the pronunciation. It is actually pronounced Nimue. Even though it's spelt Nimue, it's Celtic, so it's actually got 3 syllables. If you speak French, think of that last E as having an acute on it. Actually, I just realized I can do the turtle after this. Okay. Live stream's been extended to a full 3 hours. I'm going to do the turtle after I do this. That's quite straightforward. And if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, why not? This is good, upper quality content. So, as Dream used to say, it's free and you can always unsubscribe. And leave a like, please. And if you're still watching after 10 minutes, you must be liking something, so wouldn't hurt to leave a like and a subscribe. I made 50 subscribers by Christmas, and I've only picked up 1 in the last week. Right, that's the shameless self-plug over. Well, that's a... Oh, wonder where you get that cape from. I've never actually seen that available. Oh, and I haven't done the dailies. I'm not that bothered. To be honest, running Nimue is not about getting every last piece of light. It's more like... well, originally it was telling a story about what it was like being wingless. And then when she, quite deliberately, picked up a single wing, then the idea became, could I lose that wing and regain wingless status? To which the simple answer is no, you can't. You're stuck with it at that point. And in order to try and regain wingless status, I took her back through Eden. Because you can get to orbit, and you can start the exit procedure from orbit and be completely wingless, and if you haven't picked up a wing at that point, you can actually get home and still be wingless. At least, certainly within the last few weeks that was possible. However, last weekend I attempted the same thing, and the trick is you get to orbit, you get to the bit where it just starts to play the end credits and you force exit the game. Now, if you are wingless at that point, and that is, I mean, you started out wingless, and you've never picked up a wing, get home, you're still wingless, no problem. However, if you have picked up a wing, and you exit orbit by force exiting the game, when you get home it sends you into the dark room to pick up a wing. So, in the data structure that describes your avatar, there is something in there which toggles on to say, yep, they've picked up a wing, and that's it. You're stuck at that point. And no, she hasn't picked up a wing buff. And it is not her intention to pick up a wing buff. In fact, at one point during the stream, if you missed it, I did one of the quests in the wind paths. The one where you pick up the wind chimes that the birds have carried away, and one of them forces you to pick up a wing. Which meant that Nimue here had 2 wings. Now fortunately, I was able to lose one of them, so I'm back to a single wing, which is the whole purpose. And if that is Vampire Squid watching, good morning, Vampire Squid, how are you today? And if it isn't, well, good morning, how are you today? Not Vampire Squid, Vampire... Did I say Vampire Squid or Vampire Lynx? I apologize, it's supposed to be Vampire Lynx. Because there is a thing called a Vampire Squid, I automatically tend to... yeah. And half the time I can never remember what I've called them by. So, sorry about that. And if you're a regular and you happen to come by this and you're wondering why I'm not talking about things other than the game, that is because, for some reason, it's easier to talk about things in games like No Man's Sky. I'm not entirely certain why. Quite open to talking about things during playing Sky, but it just doesn't seem to lend itself to for some reason. Yeah, one of the great things about streaming No Man's Sky is because it's kinda sort of space. Well, it is obviously space-based. Because it's to my mind more science-based, I can talk about science stuff and rail against the anti-science movement, which I am not a fan of. It's easier to talk during the long dark as well for some reason, although I think I normally end up during the long dark talking about survival related stuff. Not that I'm by any means an expert, I just know a few bits and pieces. I'm having a look at my game list on Steam, see. I streamed Abzu. I might do that again. Abzu was easy to talk. Well, Abzu, because it's all about the oceans, I can talk about the various fish and sharks and what have you. In Flower, I could talk about the environment. I'm not sure I've got anything left to do in Flower. Journey strangely doesn't really feel like it lends itself to talking about things other than the game. I'm going to have to look at my wish list and see if there's anything in there that might be more suitable for general chat beyond game chat. The things I've talked about in the past include flat earthers and the insanity and general con that is the flat earth conspiracy stuff. Is that it? That's it. Let's whip home, go do the turtle. Some point I'm probably going to end up talking about anti-vax. No, I'm not anti-vax. I'll more like talk about the history of it and how profoundly wrong the anti-vax movement is. And that's a conspiracy theory / con. Same as the flat earth. Except that the flat earth... Yeah, flat earth is technically harmful. Because it encourages an anti-education, anti-science view of the world, which does cause harm. Anti-vax actually kills people. And I mean that in the most literal sense. And I'm trying to think what other harmful anti-science... Anti-science is... Yeah, it's generally harmful. Sometimes it can be more harmful than not. I'm trying to think. The other big anti-science movement, of course, is what would you call it? Anti-evolution? Yeah, often known as creationism. Now that's another one that gets more that gets really quite complicated. I definitely will probably end up talking about that at some point. Because creationism, I mean, all these things, flat Earth denies. What does it deny? It denies basic physics. Actually, that's that's what it does. Off the top of my head, it denies what we know about physics. It denies a lot about what we know about space. It denies. What else does it deny? Scientific method. All anti-science conspiracies deny that science actually works, pretty much. Creationism gets really quite dense because it denies everything. It denies biology, it denies physics, it denies pretty much every branch of science. Because that is that ends up being a really dense subject. And it often includes anti-vaxxers. It makes forays into politics. And that, of course, harms people. Yeah, no, the creationist things, I may actually have to be very careful how I talk about that. I don't want to get myself into too much trouble on YouTube. Conspiracy theories in general, those tend to be, oh, grief. Yeah, well, conspiracy theories in general cover the gamut. They go from everything. I mean, they do encourage people not to think. Too, they basically say, here's what it is, trust me. But they never provide any evidence for it. I mean, there are genuine conspiracy theories that have proven to be correct, but then there's always been evidence for those. Yeah, that's another thing for the anti-science lot too. It's never science-based. It's always either a con, people actively lying for whatever reason, yeah, there's never any decent science behind it, and the people that promulgate it themselves don't have, generally speaking, don't have an education to talk about it. And half the time I reckon they're lying, or just running a con for the money. I mean, seriously, you know, if you've got some idea about why some aspect of science is wrong, hey, guess what? Prove it. Don't just give me your personal incredulity, give me your actual evidence. I mean, your actual evidence. And then go and publish it. And then don't give me some ridiculous conspiracy theory about how, oh, well, no serious, you know, science will never pay any attention to what we're saying. Tell you what, if you actually had evidence, yeah, they would. But, yeah, the anti-science bunch just about never has evidence. Almost run out of things to say. Couple more minutes and we'll be done. Again, unless somebody A has something they want me to talk about, or B has something else for me to do. I do take requests. Can't guarantee I'll be able to follow through with the request, but I'm open to suggestions. Right, these last few oysters, and I can't remember how many. This hasn't technically been a candle run, it's me been trying to figure out the limitations of what you can and cannot do with only one wing level. And that's it, pretty much. Got the rest of the light from this region. 42. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone who's been watching, everybody who comes along and finds this later and gets to this part of it. Nimue will be back next week, next Sunday, 8 or 9 o'clock typically, my time, that's GMT. I hope you all have a good day and a good rest of the weekend and a good week, and I hope you all have a great 2025. Thanks for watching.